Hello, my beautiful viewers. So we are ready to start. We're going to do a Zoom recording. So let me share my video. Just give me 1 second and then we will be able to start. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here we go. Stop sharing. So my beautiful viewers, you are lucky today. In our episode, we're going to have a masterclass. Beautiful Beverly is going to talk about us that anybody can feel rich. And the way that she structured her masterclass is truly uplifting, truly inspirational. She will be joining me in a few seconds before our community is going to join us on this amazing masterclass. So you have a peek sneak on our masterclass, and you will also be able to download or look at Order Beautiful Beverly's book. Everything is in the description below. Click on the link below and you will be able to see it. So if you're ready, we're almost ready. I would like to play my golden sponsor for this episode, beautiful Nina from Healing Millions, and our amazing summit for March. So give me 1 second, I will go and collect the video. I want to resume. So my beautiful viewers, I am gonna Beverly, stop. We're gonna quickly play beautiful Nina's video, and then Beverly is gonna introduce herself, and then we're gonna pause again, and then you will be able to join us when everybody is here. So just give me time to share Nina's video, our golden sponsor for this show. Here goes Nina, and me play her video. Here we go.
Moment that you knew you were meant to do more than just watch the world suffer. You look at what's happening around you and think there must be a better way to lead this world. And there is. A big shift is happening in how we heal, lead, and support the world. We are moving into a new era of global healing where healers are called to lead. If we want to have a better world, we need to heal what's unhealed inside of us. Because hurt people hurt, heal people heal. This is exactly why the New Era Global Healing Summit exists. We are bringing together 35 speakers from all over the world, scientists, doctors, researchers, healers, and leaders, all in one place to share what actually works and what's coming next. Inside this summit, you will understand where healing and the world is heading and how to prepare for it. Learn practical tools to feel more grounded, safer in your body, and calm no matter what's happening around you. And that feeling that you had, that quiet sense that must be a better way, the pull to step forward instead of staying in the background, that's your soul reminding you who you're meant to be and inviting you to step forward into it. This is the new era of global healing. Come and join us now.
So my beautiful Beverly, both of us is going to be speakers on Nina's summit. And I have told the viewers on E360 that they are very spoiled because you are going to give a masterclass to the two groups, Diamond Beauties Forever group and Tanzanite Heroes. But we are giving them a snippet to your masterclass, and then they will be able to order your book as well. It's, my beautiful viewers, you don't have to go far. Just click on the link below and you will find out all about Beverly's masterclass. You will find the link to a book. You will find the link to how to join a community. My beautiful viewers, you are very spoiled, and I know that you're going to love Beverly and everything, all her teachings. So Beverly, can you please introduce yourself and tell us, how do you feel by doing this masterclass for us today?
Well, I feel like dancing. That's what I feel like. But we'll do that later, right? So, I'm Dr. Beverly Wixon. I'm a former middle school and high school public school teacher who practically the minute I started teaching learned to say, I'm broke, I can't afford, teachers don't make any money. Didn't grow up saying that, but I suddenly learned it very quickly. And even with all the limiting beliefs I ended up having, that's not what shifted things. I'll tell you that story in a little while. But now I am an infinite abundance and richness guide. I'm an author of the best-selling book, Get Rich on Any Salary, because if I could do it on a teaching salary, you can do it on your salary, whether it's great or not. And that's who I am.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Uncle Beverly, but thank you, Dr. Beverly. So, my beautiful viewers, when you see us again, there will be other people on screen, but it is beautiful Beverly's masterclass. See you in a bit. Did it give you permission?
I think I did it. I don't know. Not. Oh, there we go. There, I see it. Oh, it's making me record in my computer.
Yes.
Now I'm sending the request.
Okay, perfect. So my beautiful viewers, now the ladies is back, the community is back, and we're going to start. So my beautiful Beverly, thank you so much for being here, for giving us this amazing masterclass. And my beautiful Yaki and Cindy and Christina, you will be on the Power Hour show this coming Sunday. So I would love you to mute yourself and just be on camera while beautiful Beverly is talking. Because like I said, you will be part of this show that her masterclass will go as a solo show onto E360 to inspire more. So my beautiful Beverly, we are ready. You are ready to start, and if there's any questions, you can ask Beverly at the end. She will give you enough time to do that. So I am gonna zip my lips. Here you go.
Hi. Thank you so very much, Sinette, for this fabulous opportunity. I am so appreciative. Thank you all for being here. And for those of you watching the replay, thank you too. This is the Life of Richness Masterclass, and I'm so happy you're here because in this masterclass, I'm going to show you how you can grow wealth even if you don't have a large income, even if you're in your 50s, 60s, or later, because it's not too late for you to create a life of richness, and it takes a lot less than you think. And I promise you, there will be nothing about pinching pennies, no constant worry about money, no anxiety that you're just one illness or one emergency away from being broke. So I'm excited. Are you? This is going to be so much fun. If we haven't met yet, I'm Dr. Beverly Wixon. I was a public school, middle and high school English teacher, which meant lots of grading papers at home. And I did not grow up hearing things like, I'm broke, or we're broke, we can't afford. But about the minute after I walked into teaching, I learned how to say it quickly because everybody said it. Every teacher that I have ever known says we don't make enough money. Every administrator told us all, nobody goes into teaching to make money. And the big joke with teachers was, it's payday and I'm already broke. So like I said, I learned it very quickly. I was the proverbial poor broke teacher. I taught in one of the lowest paying districts in one of the lowest paying states in the US. Most of my career, Florida was the lowest paying state in the union. So I always had more months than I did money because we were also paid once a month. So if you've ever known that feeling, I understand. And if I can do this, you can do this. So, like I said, teachers are constantly told they don't make enough money. Every stranger says it. So that's bad enough, when your family says it, but when strangers start saying it, you just go, yeah, I know. And the other thing is in schools, and as a former teacher, I'm not sure where they'd put this, but we were never taught about wealth. We were never taught about building wealth. It would be really nice if we were just taught some mindset stuff, but we're taught it indirectly, but I don't think we ever know that's what we're being taught. So it's not a go-to. But as I've made this shift in the last few years of my career, I have come to realize that money is meant to support your life, not consume it. And by consuming it, I mean, you don't have to hustle. You don't have to work all day and all night and never see your family and loved ones, which I did as a teacher. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get money. And you also don't have to be stressed that whatever you have is going to disappear. And I also love this line that the poet David White said. He said, money isn't here to control your life. It's here to participate in it. I love that. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make that shift of going from survival to support, from fear to flow, because that's what we want to do. We don't want to have all that fear anymore. And I told you I had all these limiting beliefs that I picked up while teaching, when I didn't believe I had any money, so I didn't. But every month that I went through that pain for decades was never the turning point for me. What really, really woke me up was the day I discovered that someone I trusted with my heart and my life, someone I thought was going to help me through the rest of my life, had defrauded me of nearly $200,000, which was supposed to be my retirement. That was the moment that I realized I had to make changes. Not in my career, because I was near the end, but internal changes. So today, I want to show you a step-by-step system that helped me to pay off my mortgage, my credit card debt, all my debt, and save more than 10 times what I had in savings. So I saved to my personal magic number, which all the experts, financial experts around me, actual experts and those who thought they were, said it would take me much longer. The actual expert told me it would take me minimum 10 years. And he said he was being generous at that. I did it in 6. And here's the interesting part. Like I said, I didn't scrimp. I love to eat out. I've always loved to eat out because I don't like to cook. And I still ate out with my friends during those 6 years. I traveled more in those 6 years than I had traveled in the previous 25. And I did it all while paying off debt and not creating any extra debt. So these secrets helped me to also spend the last days of my aunt's life with her without worrying. I flew up one way, not knowing how long I was going to stay there. I didn't worry about paying for hotels. I didn't have to worry about paying for a rental car. I didn't worry about paying my meals or the return flight home. Now, 10 years ago, I would have slapped it on a credit card and worried about paying it off over the next 10 years. I knew I didn't have to worry about that. I knew that I could pay it all off, no matter how much it was, because of everything I had done to build my wealth and to change things. So, that always brings tears to my eyes. Sorry. So if you want to know some of those secrets and you want to get that way, you're in the right place, because that's what we're going to do. My proprietary method is called Life of Richness, hence the name of the Masterclass. And there are just 3 steps: awareness, elevation, and expansion. So we're going to talk about those 3 in that order. And we're going to do a little activity with each one, but they're very short. You don't need to write anything down, so you don't have to worry about having anything handy. But awareness, that's where you start to notice what's going on. And I like to call it compassionate awareness, because we're also doing it without judging. without judging ourselves, without judging others, without blaming others. We're simply noticing what's going on within ourselves. Because when you start to look at your money stories, which, by the way, that's all they are, positive or negative, they're just stories, then that's when you can start to change things. I'm guessing that most of you have probably heard something like money doesn't grow on trees, right? Just raise your hands if you have. Yeah. Or eat all your dinner because there's starving children somewhere, depending on your generation, depends on where they were. These are both scarcity beliefs as well as mixed messages. Money doesn't grow on trees. We were told that, yet we were also told, well, if you want to see abundance, look at the trees. So even as a kid, I was like, so which is it? Are trees abundant or not abundant? Never could figure it out. And then the dinner thing, that's all about waste. And it teaches, that if you don't consume it all immediately, somebody else is being harmed. And that can turn into, if you don't spend all your money when you have it, you're hurting somebody else. The business that you're not spending any money on, or your children that you're not spending money on. Or if you were sent to bed because you didn't eat all that dinner because starving children were someplace and you didn't eat it anyway, so now you also don't get dessert, then that can turn into, well, if I don't spend it all, then I don't get any more. And then if you went to work in a business where you had any kind of budget, you probably know that if you didn't spend all your budget that year, you got less the next year. So that sends us all these mixed messages about saving, because we're also told to save, but how can you save it all if you're being told to spend it all? So awareness lets you see those patterns and those blocks. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You can finally see it and know where to go next. You can see what to step around, what to throw out, what to clear away. And I know you might be wondering, what's the matter if I notice this stuff? I mean, I know I have limiting beliefs. I know I have blocks because everybody does. Isn't that enough just knowing that I have some? Well, that's a great first step. But to me, you need to know what they are, become aware of what they are, because our subconscious choices are based on those money stories and those beliefs that we inherited from other people, our parents. And if you didn't live with your biological parents, you still got theirs. Plus, you got them also from an adoptive parent or a foster parent. You get them from your grandparents. Again, both ways. You get them from society at large. Even from Disney films, my beloved Disney films did not do us a lot of justice with our wealthy role models. Yet, see, that awareness, it uncovers those subconscious beliefs that are shaping your current financial reality. They help you recognize your fears, your guilt, your shame that's quietly holding you back. And then it lets you shift from confusion into clarity about your money patterns. You may have heard the phrase, there's nothing new under the sun, and this is the same. This isn't rocket science. You may have also heard that nothing has meaning until we give it meaning, because we create the stories. We have these situations and we give those situations meaning, oftentimes based on the stories that we were given that became our beliefs. And those beliefs influenced our actions, and our actions then influenced our current reality. But the beauty of this is, if we learned it, we can unlearn it. We can change it, because we are the designers, the architects, the creators of our own lives. And I know you know abundance is your birthright, because you came into this world, hi, I'm here, everybody take care of me, give me everything I need. You didn't come in here thinking, oh man, life's going to be so hard, money's going to be so hard, I picked this family that's never been rich, so I won't be either. We came here knowing there's so much abundance, and it's ours for the taking, as long as we can remember that it's there. All the rest of it is just stories that we picked up, and they're not who you really are. For instance, my parents were dirt farmers. They were sharecroppers. They picked cotton. My dad went into the military. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. My mother says she would have never married him if he was going to stay on the farm. I didn't even know we were poor in the military. He was a non-commissioned officer. We had the same house as everybody else. So I didn't know we were poor. My parents didn't talk about it. Then I became a teacher. And that's when I began to believe that I couldn't make money. Up until then, I thought I could. That first day of teaching, I was like, I'll be fine with this salary. A minute later, somebody said, no, you won't. And I decided to believe them. And I believed them for a couple of decades and a half. And that's when I got defrauded of the 200,000, started making this shift. And now sitting before you is someone who is at least equal to the rich person that my mother hoped I'd marry. But that only happened, like I said, in the last few years of my teaching career. So if I can change working in one of the lowest paying states in the nation, then you can change too, because you have the power to change your reality. And again, awareness lets you see the why behind your money patterns. It lets you see what's holding you back and see where you're self-sabotaging yourself, and see why you avoid dealing with money, like why you let the bills stack up and not open them. And when you see that truth clearly, magic happens. You feel relief. You feel clarity. You feel that, oh, that's why moment. And we don't look at the why to judge ourselves. We don't look at the why to blame anybody. It's just, that's it. And suddenly you realize this isn't just the way I am. This can be changed. So if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and let you finish the sentences. You don't need to write it down, like I said, just be in your head if you're up for it. Takes about 10 seconds. So just finish this sentence. I can't be rich because, or I can't be richer than I am now because. And if you don't like the word rich, change it to successful. I can't be successful because, or I can't be any more successful than I am now because. Just notice what pops up. No judgment. Don't try to fix it. Just notice. Here's a second one. Money always blank. And just fill in the blank. Now, your answers to that, those automatic endings, they're not the truth. They're stories. Whether they were positive or negative, they're stories. Doesn't mean they're factual. They may be stories you inherited. They may be stories you learned. They may be stories that you've already changed. But they are currently running they're quietly running your current financial life. And if you have changed them already, think back to the old ones and how they ran your financial life. Not because you're broken, not because you need to be fixed, not because you've done anything wrong, just because these sentences have been rehearsed over and over and over in the background of your mind for decades. And I hope that just turned a light on in that little dark room for you, because we're not changing anything yet. We're just noticing. We're not forcing any positive thoughts. We're just noticing. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And this is when change begins. And that's why step 2 is elevation. Because once you see the story, you get to rewrite it. So, like I said, it's not forcing positivity. It's not piling affirmations on top of limiting beliefs. To me, that's like planting one rose bush on this humongous pile of dog poop. All you're going to smell is a dog poop. So this is more about gently releasing all the junk. So elevation is where we clear the limiting beliefs and change the money story, where you let go of the old conditioning and finally feel safe and worthy to receive, and more importantly, worthy to hang on to and keep the wealth. And it's not just about mindset. It's not just thinking positive. Like I said, it's about embodiment. In infinite abundance, we reflect, we forgive ourselves, we forgive others, and we notice a lot. And then we shift things. Because once you learn how to release the inherited beliefs, the past conditioning, and the emotional blocks, that's when you begin shifting where abundance feels possible, not only for other people, but for you too. We learn how to dance with fears and doubts and limiting beliefs. And if you think that you have tried everything, I have a question for you. Why do you still feel stuck? And I'd like to share something here real quick. I'd like to introduce you to Maria. She's a bartender. And after meditation, she wrote me this message. And it's before the meditation, the day before yesterday, I felt somewhat drained and angry because I had experienced stress at work in the previous days. After your meditation, I felt an indescribable strength again to keep going with my work. And here's some additional feedback. Today I received my salary. Now this is, like she said, it's the day after the day after. So it's like 2 days after the meditation. Starting today, my salary has been increased. Just after a meditation, it was increased. I personally think is fabulous. And another beautiful one I'd like to introduce you to is Nicolina. Nicolina is a mother of 3. And her message was, and I love this, during the meditation, during the session, she received a slightly larger payment. She knew she was getting a payment, or she hoped she was getting a payment, but it was larger than she expected. And, it never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me how incredible things are and how quickly things can change. Because those two, just like that. And Nicolina has continued to say that happens with her, that things are changing. So, you want to try a little elevation moment right now? I invite you to think back to those sentences from earlier. The I can't be rich because, or I can't be richer than I am because, or successful. Or think about the money always. Just think back to what you said. Just pick one. Now, let's take in a deep, gentle breath in and slowly exhale it out. And one more. Inhale and slowly exhale. And now I invite you to change that statement, not into something fake or something you don't believe, but something just a little bit kinder, a little bit gentler. Maybe it's money supports me. I'm supported by money. Or maybe it's I'm learning how to be supported by money. Or maybe it's even I'm willing to learn how to be supported by money. Maybe it's money always shows up when it will benefit me the most. Money has always shown up, so I know it will. I'm pretty sure money's going to always show up. Yeah. Just make it something a little easier for you. You don't have to say it out loud if you don't want to. I just want you to feel what it's like in your body to not be attacking yourself with that old sentence that was so long ago, because that's what softening is. That's what elevation is. And that's what it feels like to begin releasing an old story. Any comments, any questions? Everybody understand what's going on, what we're doing? Did y'all get a sentence?
I love that. Thank you, my beautiful Beverly. Sometimes keeping sentences simple is sometimes more to the point, and it will grab that inner child of mine to say, it's okay. It's okay to spend money, or it's okay that money is supporting you. So I love that. Thank you.
Exactly. Because when we start jumping to something like, I'm a multimillionaire, our brains go, no. But if you start with, I'm learning to be, the brain's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're learning. I get it. We can do this. Well, step 3, moving on to step 3, is expansion. And this is where you grow your money container. This is where your new money identity starts to show up in the real world, where your beliefs, your habits, your energies integrate into a sustainable rhythm. And the thing is, this isn't a one-time event. It's a lifestyle. This is where you start to really show gratitude, not just saying thank you, but really feeling it. And where you treat money well, you nurture it. And dare I say, you start to love it. So I'd like to invite you to do a little short meditation. And if it feels good to you, close your eyes, soften your gaze. Just take a deep breath in and exhale. Take another deep breath in and exhale. And just imagine an energy, a light. Maybe it's golden, maybe it's soft white, maybe it's green. Maybe it's all the colors in your currency. Imagine that light, that energy floating down from above and standing beside you, enveloping you, hugging you, merging with you. Imagine that energy expanding, growing larger and larger around you. And then notice that money, actual money, is gently floating down from above. Coins, paper, or plastic currency that some places have. Notice that some of it's landing in this container that just showed up. Some of it's gently landing in your hands or in your hair, and it's not making any noise. It's not hurting you when it lands. Maybe it's sticking to your clothes or even to your skin. I invite you to pick up the container and joyfully and playfully collect even more money. The container can be moved around. And I invite you to notice that as the container is filling up with money, it's not getting heavy, it's remaining light. And once it's full and you put it down, notice there's a second, larger container. I invite you to feel free to gleefully pick that one up and start collecting some money. Take a moment to let this second, larger container fill. Be sure to express gratitude. Say thank you for every coin, every bill that falls into that container. Just enjoy it for a moment. As your second container begins to fill up, feel free to put it down when you're ready. And just let yourself feel what it would be like to be that supported by money. Allow your body to recognize the idea of being supported by money. And then I invite you to gently say to yourself, silently or out loud, money is here to support my life. And then take one more beautiful, slow inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, open your eyes, knowing that money will always be there to support you. And that feeling of support, that feeling of that money being everywhere, that's expansion. And that's the new normal that you're learning to live in. Now, I'm going to admit, some of my clients tell me that in the beginning, all that happens is free stuff shows up. Coffee, free donut, key ring, a mug, a coin, $1 they found in their coat pocket from last year. I encourage you not to dismiss that. Instead, accept it and receive it with gratitude. Because the thing about money is it behaves like a pet or a child or a lover. It wants attention. If you give it attention, it continues to be happy and to support you more. But if you don't give it attention, it will find a way to get your attention in another way. Maybe with an unexpected bill, maybe your car breaks down, maybe your heat breaks down. And I know that a lot of people think, well, free stuff is nice, but it doesn't pay the bills. Well, let me show you what Nina had to say. Nina started noticing that non-monetary abundance was coming in. This was my question in my group. And she said that she was noticing she had at least 100 to 200 euros daily, more than she thought she had. Well, 1 to 200 euros daily is like, even if you just go 5 days a week, is 500 to 1,000 more every week, which turns out to be, I think I did my math wrong on this sheet even, turns out to be 6,000 to 12,000 a year. I could pay a few bills with that. Don't you think? And this is Amanda. This story still gives me chills. Amanda was a nurse, and she hadn't worked in several years because she'd been raising her children, and she was going through a difficult divorce. And so she actually was doing 2 part-time nursing jobs. And she had 4 children, 2 of whom were still at home. She had also raised her husband's 2 children from his previous marriage, and he took those 2 away from her when they started to get this divorce. He was trying to punish her. And she needed an au pair. She needed someone to help take care of her children, and she wanted to hire an au pair, and she needed $10,000 in order to begin, the process. So in the beginning, she noticed, down here in the beginning, she talks about that what she was seeing was free stuff, and she took the time to notice the value of those things. And then she effortlessly saved $10,000 so that she could start the process to get an au pair. And as I said, this was a difficult divorce. It was difficult before we started working together. And so we started doing some different things. And I'm sure most of you may know Ho'oponopono. And we did the Ho'opono prayer with her husband in mind. Now, you may notice I say, I apologize instead of I'm sorry, because I am statements are so powerful that she did not need to say, I am sorry, and neither did the rest of us. So she would say, I apologize, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you, to herself, as well as thinking about him. And she would add, and I forgive you. We did a couple of other forgiveness prayers and some journaling and just various techniques and strategies in between meetings. And when she would forget, it wouldn't be a good meeting. And all these things, I believe in it taking 15 minutes a day. It doesn't have to take your whole life. And over time, he became much easier to work with. And just before her final meeting, we threw in a couple of extra journaling things, and he called the attorney. He called the attorney and said, give her all these things that she wants, which was everything she wanted. He went in and signed the papers before the meeting, so he wasn't even there. So she got to go in and sign the papers. Now, I don't have a screenshot of that because she sent me all this in a voicemail because she was so excited. The thing is, she knew what to do in between every session, but sometimes she didn't do it. And that's when, like I said, he would be kind of complicated. So sometimes we know what to do, but stress makes us forget, which is the beauty of working with someone, because if you work with someone, you're not in it alone. And so that's the beauty of that. And, gratitude helps, forgiveness helps, all kinds of techniques help. And of course, clearing it through meditation and other energy works help, because expansion is where you step into this new normal, where you're feeling supported. And when you're totally stressed, it's easy to not feel supported. And going through a divorce certainly makes a person not feel supported. But when you feel that support, you become empowered and you begin to truly align with prosperity. Well, that's about it. I do hope this has been valuable and helpful. And more importantly, I hope you have shifted some in your thinking about money right now.
Wow. Thank you, my beautiful Beverly. I'm going to ask each of you how you feel. And then I would love to put on your camera so that I can take a picture of us. But I quickly want to do a recap. I love that you said that in school we never learn anything about wealth creation. I cannot remember exactly the words of your beautiful quote of that gentleman. So I started to write it down, and then I could not remember the rest. Money is not here to take over my life, but I'm thinking supporting. But you can just repeat that quotation.
Yes, money is not meant to control our life. It's here to control our lives. It's here to participate in it.
I thought that was a beautiful control. I will quickly put, and then I love that you gave us a summary on your 3 propriety signature items, if I can call it like that, as a lack of whatever I should call it. So awareness, I love it, because one of the things that when you start take awareness of something, you put focus on it. So I love that. And then also no judgment. I love the way that you say no judgment. And then elevation. And I love that, bringing that, embody that feeling. I truly believe when you want to change anything, you have to embody it. You have to put all your feelings into it. And then another word that I love, expansion. I can just see this big balloon blowing up, going. And it never is going to burst. That's my balloon. It's never going to burst. And with that will be your new money identity. I love that. And it's like a sustainable rhythm. You must write a poem on the sustainable rhythm of money and being your new identity. I think it's going to be a beautiful poem, and that is going to be your lifestyle. Feel money, and then feel money well, and then you and money will love you back. So I think I wrote something there at the end. So thank you so much, my beautiful Dr. Beverly. I think I have done a short summary. In the meanwhile, I've asked a few more people to come to the and answer a few people. So I did a good job. I'm going to start with Yaki. Yaki, do you have how was the session? And if you can convey something to Beverly, and then we will go to Cindy, and then to you, my beautiful Natalie, and then to Tanya, Tina, and then Christiana. So my beautiful Yaki.
Thank you, Sanette, and thank you, Dr. Beverly. I thoroughly enjoyed it, specifically where I am currently in my life. I took early retirement, and money is then always a problem. How do I make sure that I'm sustain myself and my husband for the next couple of years? But you also reminded me of 3 things that I almost forgot over the last couple of years, being so busy in the corporate world. The one is forgiveness. Yes, Sanette, I did your masterclass a couple of years ago. The other one is daily gratitude, and then also journaling, because that just brought a picture for me together again of where shall I start? What must I do? And then also the 3 words, Sanette, which you mentioned, the awareness, the elevation, and the expansion. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my beautiful Yaki. And it's wonderful to see you, my girl. Cindy?
Hi, thank you, Dr. Beverly. I absolutely loved the entire presentation. For me, what really struck me is the stories. Right? And it's so true, right? It's what did we hear when we were young, and how those stories got embedded into our subconscious, and now we have this limiting belief about what money is to us. And I think that it's so key. Your first point is the awareness. I think that once we become aware, that's the biggie. Now we can make a decision, right, and put the blinders back on, but most of us, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then it's the decision to take action. And so I just loved it today, because it took so long for me to really embody those concepts. Because I grew up with all of the things that you were saying earlier. Yep, that generation, I've heard all of those terms before. And it took me, I'd say, probably good 60 years. The past several years for me have been beautiful in terms of how my relationship with money, and this was such a beautiful way to put it all together, and a great reminder for me, even when you feel secure in your money, it's just that flipping it over, not even so much the negative side, but flipping it over to think about it from a different perspective, even from the positive side. So I just want to say thank you. I think it was beautifully done, and I really got a lot out of this again today. Thanks, Annette.
Thank you. Natalie, my beautiful one.
Hello, beautiful ones. I'll make Dr. Beverly. Wow. I love the ease that you presented with. It really, I'm kinesthetic. I felt it. I felt the lightness and the flow in the teaching. And for me, that's really important because money holds a lot of intensity for me. And those roots of lack, I remember the 80s when my parents almost lost their home. And it was like, we can't afford it. Like, it was just like, and how that carried through. But I love awareness, elevation, expansion, and the self-talk rehearsal. And I came up with money is my friend. That's what came to me. And look, best friend ever is on my mug. And the other thing, like just brilliant. What I saw in my mind's eye is that I have been wrestling with money like an MMA fighter, like literally grappling, wrestling, and like I have the ability to do it, to make plenty. It's management, it's awareness, it's focus. Thank you. You're a gift.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wow, I have goosebumps. Thank you, my beautiful ladies. Tina?
Yeah, Dr. Beverly, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I just love it. And I love that you really express what you feed, you grow. And I just want to share, even when I was younger and had little kids, I was always like, I'm not going to be a martyr. I deserve good things. I deserve to buy myself things. And when I was doing aesthetics, right during COVID, I bought a machine. I asked God, please, what should I do? It was $63,000. And COVID hit and my business closed. And I knew I didn't need to worry. I absolutely didn't need to worry. I was hired by an organization that paid $50,000 of that machine for me and kept it completely in my name. And my kids are always marveling. They're like, Mom, you think we have money? I'm like, because we do. We do. We have abundance of money. And it's always shown up because I totally do what you said. Embody it. Embody it. I believe I'm deserving of it. The things that there's so many takeaways that you gave me. I definitely reflect the awareness is key to everything. It just truly is key. But I love what you said about thanking the gifts that are coming, because I was going to get Starbucks recently and I'm like, I got to give this up. I can't afford it. And I go there and the lady gives me a free one. She puts her code in and I'm just like, but I should have given gratitude, and I did recognize that. I was just thinking that, but I love it. I'm going to play with that. I'm really going to play with that, the things that are showing up, really thanking them, because like you said, consciousness energy, it wants to be recognized, whether it's negative or positive. So let's illuminate the positive. Yeah, you just had so many good things. I loved your meditations. I love the collection and seeing it coming in, the abundance. I'm going to take away so many beautiful things. And I totally agree with Natalie. You speak this language so free flowing. It is you embody it and you help create it in others. You are a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, incredible. My beautiful Christiana. And I'm so sorry. I just quickly messaged you and said, you need to be here. And you came through. So I'm so happy. Christiana.
As soon as I saw the message, I did. So I'm looking forward to watching the replay. I came in just at the end of the meditation, but even that just kind of helped me just go, whew, for the day. I've had a bit of a rough one here. So I am definitely looking forward to watching the replay. And I've heard little bits of your wisdom throughout since I've been in at your Mrs. Potts and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to watching the replay. And I know that you know what you're talking about. And I'll just share, like, when I was younger, I grew up in low income housing. And one of the things that I'd heard when we were younger was that we weren't rich with money, but we were rich with love. And then my mother, of course, was always that the ones that had the money were snobs, but she was more judgmental of the ones that had money than they were of her. So that was something I've had to reconcile in myself, where I took on where she's like, don't judge anybody. So I don't judge anybody. We all have our struggles, and money doesn't make it easier. It can, but that it isn't the be all end all. So having that love and money, you can really do a lot of good in the world.
Thank you, my beautiful Christiana. So my beautiful ladies, yes, Tina?
I'm sorry. I just want to add to Dr. Beverly, the sustainability part, because I think that's so important. So often we have these things that we pull in, but we can't sustain it. So thank you for creating a program for us that we can sustain throughout our lives. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. So my beautiful Beverly is going to give you all a gift to say thank you for coming through. So Beverly, you are welcome to post it in the chat so that they can go click on it, and then even if you want to download it later you can, but just click on it. I will also show you how to save this chat if you don't know exactly how. It's easy, just 3 dots, I will tell you. And then after sharing it, you will be able to click on that. And my beautiful ones, I have started my money tracking every day since last year. There's a big difference. And then I will not be able to take it off quickly, but I am going to give Dr. Beverly time to talk, and then I will show you how I say thank you. Okay, so my beautiful Dr. Beverly, hearing all the ladies' comments, how are you feeling, my beautiful one?
I feel like that little kid in the comics that's going, "Aw, shucks." I mean, thank you all so much. I mean, I respect all of you so much. So to hear those words from you just blows my mind. But I did just put in the chat the link to my what I call Cha-Ching income tracker, because it's so that you can see all the stuff that's coming in monetarily and non-monetarily every day. And it's amazing that when you start to see that, you start to see the abundance that's around. And then you, like I said, you do get a lot of free stuff in the beginning, and then you just have to say, I'm ready for some cash, universe. And amazingly, it will begin to show up. Wow. And a fun thing I like to do is just start the day with, how much money can I get today?
Wow, I love that. So my beautiful ones, I do have a belly dancing thing, a skirt, I think you can call it. And then when I receive money, I will get a notification from PayPal. I will literally open my money tracker, and then I will take off but I could not do it when I was in New Zealand. I will put it around me and I will dance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I put my belly dancing back again, because yes, you hear? So my beautiful viewers, I hope that you loved Dr. Beverly's presentation. Please go down below in the show notes. You will be able to pick up her book. You will be able to pick up a synopsis of our beautiful her masterclass, how to connect with her, how to connect with her community. And there is 2 special videos that I've also have a connection in for you on E360. So one is a 2-minute video on this beautiful masterclass, and one is an advertisement. So my beautiful ones, I hope that you have enjoyed being with us. We are going to say goodbye, and we are going to stay a little bit longer on here. So my beautiful viewers, have a beautiful day. Thank you for